Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Dark Pistol from Antwerp Roller Derby.
And I am Knick Mops, also from Antwerp Roller Derby.
Which is actually great because we are the two loudest, most talky members of our team.
So
and we're going to be able to
are in luck.
we're going to be able to have a good time today. We are hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It's true. We should not put the bar too high, I think. So we are mildly hilarious.
We'll see. So today we have our third game at the 4th edition of the Skate Around tournament in Namur, Belgium. We're actually in this beautiful venue in Amé, which is great to be here. First team that we'll be playing, that we'll be talking to you about is Birmingham Roller Derby, who will be playing in black. We're going to give you the roster now. It's Bunny Massacre, number 10, Violet Attack, number 16, Calamity Jane, number 1903, Millie Idol, number 24, Tantrum, number 328, Gemma Harvey, 41, Long, 434, Laurie, 510, Balance of Power, 77, Bowser, 808, Thundercat, 84, Roll Darl, 85, Shorty, 89, Yamut the Conqueror, 9, and Weston Super Claire, 99.
And also their second game today is Zürich Roller Derby, where we have 1-2 Harley Hot Roll, 187 Missy Lestrange, 2-1 Mona Mortel, 2-3-3 Fibonacci, 2-6 Purple Pain, 3-7 Massive Tiger Moose, 4-2 0 Scardonnet, 5 Flegel, 6 Caprica, 6-0 Michi Impossible, 7-9 Jean-Claude Avandan, 8 Sin Sister, 8-4 Every Night Fury, and 9 Sicken Sinus.
All right, so we are rolling.
For Birmingham, this might be a little bit confusing because they played in the same color just a minute ago. And we already have a player in the box for Birmingham.
The Jammer.
Laurie the Jammer. And for Zurich, we have 6-0 Mission Impossible jamming, using their offense and skating past, getting lead in this first jam of the third game of the 4th edition of Skate Around.
That's a lot of math.
Even for me.
So it looks like we have our goat technique as our power jam offensive technique. So they were holding a goat back. Birmingham's jammer is now through with the star now on their head, so that's why I didn't notice them. I thought they were a goat, but in fact they had taken their jammer panty off, and now the jam is over.
Mission Impossible managing to do 2 scoring passes, scoring a total of
4 points.
7 points. Yeah, you always have to wait a little bit longer because 7 points, putting the scoreboard on 7-0 for the first jam of this game. Now we are looking at Missy Lestrange on the jammer line together with 9-9 Weston Super Claire. We haven't seen them before, so Missy Leclerc, quick lead there. 1 blocker for Birmingham in the box. And Weston Super Claire being recycled back by the Zurich wall.
And here comes Missy Lestrange getting her points. They are an amazing jammer. We got to play against them, and they're calling it off right away.
So they froze the blocker in the box. And so we're starting Zurich a 4-wall and Birmingham a 3-wall. We have number 85 for Birmingham on the track, Roller Darl. She played jammer the previous game, but is now blocking. And
it looks like we have Tantrum jamming for Birmingham and number 21 Caprica, is that correct?
Mona Mortel.
Mona Mortel.
Who hasn't jammed before either. So
yeah.
Tantrum with the lead for Birmingham. Zurich jammer still stuck, and when I say it, they are out. Beautiful job there by Tantrum, really pushing through that wall for Zurich, catching them by surprise. Nice job there.
they're a really strong jammer. I really liked watching them in the previous game. And they have put Birmingham on the board with 4 points. So it looks like they're starting to make an impression and get a feel for this Zürich team.
Past game as well, they took a little bit more time than I think Sam Roller Derby to get into the game. So, but now they already have 1 game behind the belt. So let's see how this works.
It looks like, oh, Mishy Possible just slipped through on the inside like a soap bubble.
Thundercat with the star in hand, trying to get some move, the wall moving. A failed star pass, and
it looks like the pivot is going to the box now.
But I don't think they have the star in hand. Nope, because it's on the head of Thundercat, who is right behind Mission Impossible.
And Mishy calls it. Good job, good idea.
1 blocker in the box, who is also the pivot for Birmingham.
Yeah, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for this Birmingham jammer when they come on, because they won't have a pivot available if indeed they do get stuck in the pack. Hopefully that's not going to be the case, though.
Zürich is taking the pivot line with the flat wall, and we are seeing Missy Lestrange on the as their jammer, and Laurie as the Birmingham jammer. Laurie's footwork is quite impressive, but they did get stuck there on the inside line.
Yeah, it looks
good
like
job by the defensive blockers.
That Zürich wall is really good at recycling, making sure that they stay lateral, keeping really solidly locked onto the Birmingham jammer. And it seems to be the same case for Birmingham with the Zürich jammer.
Yes.
But Missy is matrixed their way. Nope. Unfortunately, they have cut, so it looks like we've got a power jam for Birmingham.
It was a forearm penalty, and we have the lead for Birmingham.
Lead for Birmingham. That would be just the 2nd lead of the game so far for them.
So a little bit struggle there. Good defensive work, but Laurie, as I said before, is really good at picking the line, staying on the line, and even when you think they did a cut, they didn't.
They didn't. That's super frustrating for the blockers as well, who try to recycle and then realize that they, that is, you were talking about it before, and that's exactly what that jammer did. They really rode that line well, working their toe stops. Missy Lestrange is doing the same thing, really working line to line. Missy Lestrange is also a very strong jammer. I know that that takes a lot of power to keep them blocked in. Zürich is doing a pretty good job. I'm sorry, Birmingham is doing a pretty good job of that, but Missy does make it out. Again, just on that line, very, very tricky.
We have a Zürich blocker going to the box right in the end there. And we have 9-0 for Birmingham, putting the score on the board 12-15. Which is nothing in Derby. So let's see what happens next. We have Birmingham on the jammer line together with 9-9 Weston Super Claire. And then for Zürich, we have Mona Mortel and the rest of the blockers falling back. Beautiful work there on the jammer line. Both jammers being really stuck. You've
got blocker 1903 Calamity for Zürich going to the, for Birmingham going to the box. I'm so used to Zürich playing in black.
They have the same color, so it must be a little bit confusing. Yeah, beautifully done there by the jammer for Zürich, having lead.
Excellent star stash by the Birmingham jammer, able to get out and behind. Let's see if they're going to call the jam or let it roll. Looks like we're going to let it roll, which may be a good idea. We've got the pack in the back.
Good offense there from the box. I see one of the Birmingham players having a difficulty with their skate.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know what's stuck, but they should really look into that. Yeah, they noticed. They noticed.
All right, so
4 points to 0 on that last jam. We have 6-0 on the track for Zürich. Mission Impossible and Tantrum, 2 jammers we have seen before and who managed to do a lot of good things for their team previously. So what will happen?
Looks like we got a slow start. Interestingly enough, the jammer, Mission Possible, decided to turn blocker to keep Tantrum in the back.
Offense there by Birmingham blocker 1903. Tantrum on the floor.
Some nice recycling. It looks like we've got a super pack with both walls trying to recycle around offense, keep the jammers in the back. Out there in turn 2, difficult. And Mission Possible finally makes it through.
It can really go either way when it's a pack like that. It's really hoping your jammer sees the hole.
Yeah, it takes the opportunities that you're trying to give them, exactly. Tantrum has gotten recycled once again. Looks like they're in a little bit of trouble looking for somebody to pass the star to or at least get an offense as Mission Possible goes through for another scoring pass. And it looks like Tantrum finally did make it through.
And we have Mission Possible battling the pack. That's a bit chaotic, calling it off right before Tantrum could go for that scoring pass. So we have 3 more points on the board for Zürich, and that brings the total up to 12 for Birmingham and 26 for Zürich. Both teams had a loss before they started this game, so they want to show that they are here for a reason, and so they're really making work of everything.
Now we've got the jam start with Missy Lestrange and the Birmingham jammer number 8-4. Rolling out to the front and through for lead jammer. Missy Lestrange is straight on their tail. We'll see what happens here because often the jammer who is lead is going to want to get points and call, and they do just that.
And leaving no points at all for Zürich, I think it's always tough because that it can really become tough in the end. We have a little discussion with the officials. Probably, did they score points? Did they not score points? They did. Caps lock showing a 3 for the Birmingham players. So 15-26. We have Laurie on the track against 2-1 for Zürich. Mona Mortel.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Love their jumpy style, but it looks like the Birmingham jammer is through.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I think that the skating officials are actually just talking about what they want to eat when they get into the middle of the track.
Beautifully done there by Birmingham, containing that jammer there in the end, while Laurie is already on a scoring pass. It's Mona Mortel still struggling with the initial pass, getting full offense, but still Birmingham comes out the winner.
Yeah, it looks like Birmingham was trying to stay really close to that opposing wall in order to make sure that the offense wasn't as effective as they wanted it to be, but they did finally get through. Now our Birmingham jammer is going to call it off, and it looks like they got 2 scoring passes. If I'm correct, that's 8 points for that Birmingham jammer.
So 23-26 on the board in favor of Zürich, but it was Zürich didn't score that many points, I think, in the last few jams. So we're happy to see what happens. Close game so far. A lot more slow than it has been today. So slow derby. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. It also looks like the floor may be slowing them down. I noticed it's hard but sticky. So,
but it were 2 very fast games this morning. We have the lead for Western Super Clare. Mission Possible right out of the pack there. Good offense by the Birmingham blockers, holding, and we have the call off.
Call off right away with full 4 points on the board.
And we have a lead change.
Oh my goodness, a lead change. Aren't we supposed to drink or do a dance or something?
We're not drinking. So 27 for Birmingham and 26 for Zürich.
I would like chocolate though. I don't see why I shouldn't get a treat.
I'm drinking water, so. And we have Tantrum on the track next to Missy Lestrange. Zürich dropping back at the last final moments.
2 really strong jammers. Really interested to see what happens. Looks like Missy Lestrange is through for lead right away. And I also heard the skating officials yelling right away. So there was something that happened at the start that I didn't exactly see.
So Tantrum did manage to have a really good game before. getting lead most, I think. But they're struggling a little with the walls for Zürich, who are really good with that final hit right at the end.
Yeah.
And now they're going for offense together for Missy Lestrange.
And it looks like the pivot who picked up the jam star was able to score a couple points right there at the end of the jam 4, if I'm not mistaken, by looking at the skating officials, lovely skating officials. Caps Lock, who is from Antwerp Roller Derby. We're
Shout
very
out.
appreciative. Hello. So that's 8 for Zurich and 4 for Birmingham.
So again, now we have Zurich in the lead with 34 points and 31 for Birmingham. So it's really anybody's game at this point. We have 2-1 on the jammer line. Mona Mortel against the jammer, 8-4 for Birmingham on the outside line. But the Birmingham wall, again, really good together there, managing to follow the jammer to the front and really slowing them down.
We've got some bridging going on as well, but it looks like very short bridges to me. What do you think?
Yeah, so 8-4 really pushes the Zurich wall closer and closer. And for Birmingham, you have to watch out because they use their own wall as an offense at that point.
This Zurich jammer is really battling their, the Birmingham jammer is really battling their way through the front. I will stop making that mistake. I will. Thundercat for lead.
Which was fortunate for the Zurich jammer, who had already taken off their jammer hat, even though lead was not yet closed. But the confusion went both ways, I think, because Birmingham called off that jam at the end.
It looks like there was no points on that jam, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not seeing any jam refs indicating points. We've got Caps Lock with the big 0, the fist of 0 in the air. It's never a fun sight to see if you're actually jamming or it's your team. You like fingers, not fists.
So Laurie again on that inside line, so strong. And then 6-0 for Zurich, close behind Mission Impossible. So Laurie looks where the other jammer is, takes the offense on the outside line.
Excellent job getting a couple points there. Let's see how many they give them. There's some discussion with the outside pack ref. Our outside pack ref, nope. That's what I say about spiders when I see them. Nope.
Already on the track is number 99 Western Super Claire and 187. A duo I think we haven't seen yet, Missy Lestrange. I'm really happy to see new duos of jammers being formed. What will happen? Everybody started in the front there, giving the jammers lead start, which was good for Western Super Claire. Not so much for Missy Lestrange being recycled on the inside line there. Western Super Claire going for that scoring pass. Beautifully done there on the outside.
And they're going to call it. Yeah, amazing. Super Claire got another lead. One of their most highest performance jammers on this team for the moment. And
they didn't jam last game, so we're seeing them for the first time today.
Well, they are doing a great job. And we have Birmingham up. I don't know if you noticed that last jam we were at a tie game. Now we have Birmingham again coming ahead slightly, but it's so close. Oh, there we've got our Birmingham coach trying to make the most of their timeouts by coming to the jam timer and taking their timeout at the very last minute, trying to get that rest time for their team.
In the last 2 games, the timeouts were like super important. Every time they got the timeout, it was really good for the team that called the timeout. So I'm really curious to see whether it will work for Birmingham today. The game is really close. Like, it could go either way. I cannot say anything now. 38-34, and we still have 13 minutes on the clock for this first period. It could be anyone's game, really.
So we are here at the 4th edition of Skate Around hosted by Namur Roller Derby in Belgium, and you are listening to us on the live stream today, which in fact is provided to you for free, but you can donate.
Yes, so you can give a free donation on utip.io/Namur Roller Derby. You can also find all the information in the event, so please consider to donate and let this roller derby community come back out of the COVID freeze they were in the last couple of years.
Well, and as always, roller derby is volunteer. We're all here doing this for the love of the sport. So if you can show your love, that'd be great. Looks like our timeout is over. We've got Tantrum and Mona Mortel ready to jam on the line. Mona is up against a nice, strong Birmingham wall all the way at the line. That's where everybody started. Tantrum seems to have pushed their way up to the front. It looks like they're pushing, and they have made it. Lead jam for Birmingham. Tantrum is lead jammer. Ooh, and Mona Mortel is fast.
Yeah, fast jammer
heels.
there.
Oh, we have the call off with 0 points. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure there were no points on that. Yep.
I agree.
Two big
I really
old
like
fists in the air.
the Birmingham jammers are really aware of what is happening and what's going on, so they keep having an eye on the other jammer, and they are not often caught by surprise. So that's good on them. We have 8-4 Thundercats against 6-0 Mission Impossible. I should really remember. I've seen them so many times. Mission Impossible.
And it looks like that Birmingham wall tried really hard to stay solid, but Mission Impossible, just like the soap bubble that I've called them before, slipped on through on the inside. Their lead jammer.
The jammer for Birmingham still working on their initial pass, while Mission Impossible is already on their scoring pass. Stuck there right in the back between that amazing three wall of Birmingham. Like, I do not want to be opposing those people.
No, those look like very strong skaters. Thankfully, Mission Impossible called it off before the opposing jammer came in and got points. And yep, it looks like a big 3-0 on that one. Very good on them. You know, Mission Impossible is actually a long-time derby player. I met them in Berlin about 7 years ago when they were a rookie. They have come a long way, let me tell you. Amazing skater.
We're very close together, 38 for Birmingham, 37 for Zürich. And we're all stuck there at the jammer line. Missy Lestrange stuck behind the blockers for Birmingham, but they're quicker. So they're off on the outside, having lead. Lori being recycled.
It looks like that Zurich wall has gotten themselves back together. They're being very amoeba-like, but ooh, that line work by Lori, you were talking about it.
It's interesting to see that Birmingham is choosing a no offense kind of tactic where they play full defense, and Zurich still has that one dedicated blocker who helps their jammer through the pack. And for now, it seems that for Zurich, that's going pretty well since they managed to score the 4-0 points there on the board. 38 for Birmingham, 41 for Zurich. We are looking at Western Super Claire and 1-2 Mona Mortel on the jammer line. Everybody at the pivot line and everybody at the jammer line.
Yeah, but it does look like that Birmingham team. Ooh, look at that. There you've got our, who's that now? Super Claire?
Western Super Claire.
Western Super Claire, who's made lead jam again. Wonderful performance by them.
And also, so Mona Mortel still on initial pass. Western Super Claire tiptoeing their way into the pack and getting through was beautifully done. Now we're in the corner, outside line, being recycled by number 9 for Zurich, who is an extremely strong blocker. And Western Super Claire stuck behind the Zurich wall, one blocker each in the pack.
Ooh, and it looks like Super Claire was taking a lesson from their teammate Lori and working those lines pretty well, just almost didn't make it. They're looking towards their bench to see if they should call or not, and they do right before the Zurich jammer can score any points.
In the last jam, Birmingham often chose the quick skating in front, which they haven't done much now. Because maybe they adapted their play to their jammers, I'm not sure. But it was beautiful to see how they did manage to get that speed, but also the defense after that very quickly. I haven't seen them doing it yet now, so I'm curious to see whether it will help Tantrum or Mission Impossible today. Mission Impossible getting stuck behind that wall. Tantrum making a little bit of a fall.
Yeah, it looks like Mishi got through again on that inside line. I'm telling you, that skater is like a slippery piece of soap.
Tantrum close behind. Messy pack there. Zürich going for the full offense, but Birmingham manages to kick the jammer to the floor, and I don't
think they got any points for that, though. We've got 1 point for Birmingham.
We have a discussion on the outside. Outside pack refs have to help the inside pack ref. What will happen?
No, I believe that was 1 point, sorry, for Zürich.
Yeah, 1 point each.
Yeah, and 1 point for Birmingham.
Birmingham on 47, Zürich on 42. And I'm guessing this is an official review. That gives me time to talk about Trek Karma. Trek Karma is a sponsor for this year's Skate Around tournament, and it's a roller derby league management application. So you can use it. It's made by derby people for derby people, and you can use it to plan your practices, to manage your attendance, plan future games, check availabilities, manage the minimum skills evaluation, or communicate and discuss and organize. So a lot of things that we need to do in a roller derby league can all be done in one app. It has been working for 650 leagues, 1,700 teams, 8,000 players, 3,900 games, and 40,000 training sessions. It's completely free, unless you have Patreon. If you want to support this, this great application that helps a lot of people out, please consider supporting them through Patreon.
So Birmingham took an official review here, and it looks like our skating officials are either talking about what they're going to eat tonight, or they're discussing the official review. We do hope that they're actually discussing the question that was posed to them. We
Probably
don't know what it's about yet, but we'll try and get that information.
We normally have one of the people skating towards me, and this time it's Caps Lock. I will be here to tell you what happened.
They're requesting a forearm on Green Jammer on their initial pass.
So,
okay. So there was a question for the Birmingham, from the Birmingham coach to call a forearms penalty on the Green Jammer in their initial pass, but the no call stands. So we're ready to play some derby. It's a 4-wall on a 4-wall. Birmingham on the jammer line, Zürich coming from the front.
It looks like they got a little excited there. They almost started before the actual jam whistle.
Thundercat against Missy Lestrange, combination we have seen before. And again, full defense for Birmingham, 1 offense for Zürich. So let's see what happens. Yeah. Thundercat there.
Birmingham's full defense is actually just for the start. It looks like they are coming in to play some offense, but it didn't work. Missy Lestrange is through for lead.
It's a power jam situation. Thundercat got a cutting track penalty. Missy Lestrange on the outside, waiting for the offense on the inside. Beautifully done.
Yep,
unfortunately,
they got a cut as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like
this has been happening a lot. So
we're going to have jammer musical chairs. Missy shall sit down, and Thundercat shall get up and go back to jamming. But this will be a 2-minute jam.
Yes. So Missy Lestrange did lose the lead status there. Birmingham recycling they tried to do something, but I'm not sure it worked.
Thundercats through on their initial pass now, so it looks like they'll be coming through to a scoring pass, while Missy Lestrange, I believe,
also
is
a scoring pass.
Also on their scoring pass, yes.
Didn't score any points yet, so let's see what happens. It's fast, and Thundercat seems to be the winner at the end. 4 points for their team on the board. So 4 points extra for Birmingham. Missy Lestrange going on the inside line, but 4-3-4 said nuh-uh, and they kicked them out on the inside. And this is what Missy Lestrange does really well. They wait until the no pack, and then they step in. So they're really good at doing that. And again, they are very patient, which is not something you see a lot with jammers.
Yeah, they also like distance. They don't like to be stuck in the pack.
Yeah.
But with a little distance and a little speed, Missy Lestrange can definitely zigzag through your blockers with no problem.
Yeah.
And there they go again. But we do have Missy Lestrange on their second scoring pass. And Thundercat also on their second scoring pass. So we'll see at the end of this who actually won in terms of points. We've got Birmingham with 8 and Zurich with 4.
So this one goes to Birmingham, 8-4. Oh, nope.
No, I thought so.
Always too quick.
So that's a 0-0 jam.
Yeah, or an 8-8 jam. 55 points to Birmingham. And
We call it 0-0. You know that.
Zurich
Nobody
with
came
50.
out on top.
A pack of 3 each, or a wall of 3 each. Strong defense job there.
Yeah, both light packs, so 3 blockers from each pack because both have a blocker in the box.
It is a no pass, no penalty, so I'm wondering...
Oh no, we do have lead for Zurich,
Yes.
Mona Mortel.
And then Laurie quickly behind. And it's like I said, so Birmingham is quite good at having the pack speed up and then to wait and still be good with that defense. So, but they did lose the 3 points there, 0-3 in favor of Zurich. Again, we're getting so close. So 55 for Birmingham, 53 for Zurich.
Wow, this is such a close game. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is only the 4th game Birmingham has been playing since COVID. So, yes.
Wow. So they're probably not used to playing at this high of a level, but I'm sure the excitement, the adrenaline is getting them through because look at that lead jammer again for Weston St. Clair. Yeah, Weston Super Clair, sorry. I called them Weston St. Clair. I'm sure that's what their name is based on, but not their name. So Weston Super Clair with another lead. They're now the most high-performing jammer on Birmingham's side with the most points and the most leads for Birmingham. So they're doing a really good job at carrying their team, actually.
So Tantrum against Missy Lestrange. We've seen the duo before. Tantrum is struggling a little bit more with the walls for Zurich than they were with the walls for
some.
So for some.
Yeah.
And as I said before, both teams have to make up the loss they made.
Lost their helmet panty somewhere. So we have a jammer with no helmet panty and a very confused group of skaters and skating officials. Ooh. And unfortunately, yeah, Missy Lestrange actually already took out Nope. And he was like, nope. What do you say when we ask you to jam, Knickmops?
I say nope. I don't even say no thank you. I just say
nope.
I'm also like, you don't want me to jam. Like, you don't want me at all. I was very confused. Like, did Tantrum have the panty on when they skated on the track? Or are we just so used to seeing them as a jammer that we figured they had it on anyway?
I do not know. To tell you the truth, I mean, there may have been an imaginary jammer panty on Tantrum's head because
we wanted it so bad.
Exactly, but there was a point at which Tantrum started to ask themselves also by touching their helmet. Yeah. So I'm also confused.
Did the officials also not see it?
Yeah, the skating officials are also discussing whether this should be a penalty, if they should have started the jam at all, because you cannot start a jam with only one jammer on the track unless the other jammer is in the box. So
that was confusing. Yeah. We have 2 blockers in the box for Birmingham, so pack advantage is for Zurich at the start of this jam.
I think we're just starting it over.
I think everybody was like, oh, sorry, we are confused. Let's do it again.
But we definitely have 2 jammers with 2 jammer panties on their heads. I see stars in front of my face, and I didn't fall, so...
So we have 8-4 Thundercat against 8-7 Missy Lestrange 1-8-7. And Thundercat quickly on the outside line, but Missy Lestrange is like
right behind
super close.
Yeah.
Bit of jammer on jammer action.
And Missy Lestrange is going to try and power their way through.
And Birmingham doing what Birmingham does best. Skating.
Speeding it up. We have a fast pack. We have some chasing the kitty cat, old school roller derby going on. It's so much fun to watch.
And we have almost an empty box for Birmingham.
Oh, and there we go. They were able to empty the box and call it. Yes.
Thundercat was like, woo, we did it so well, woo. I love when one team starts to do it and the other team starts to follow and they're like, why are we doing this? I don't like this at all. I hate it. I hate it.
But we love it. It's fun to watch. I mean, it's
fun
like,
to watch.
yes, skate very fast. Go, go.
We have Tantrum with a jammer panty on and Mona Mortel with a jammer hat on. So
this is good news for everyone.
Yeah, so we're really happy to see both jammers complete on the track. It's a little bit of a hassle there. Tantrum taking a little bit of a fall.
It looks like Zürich's jammer Mona Mortel is trying to get through using a bit of their own wall as offense.
And it's Tantrum. Tantrum with the lead against Mona Mortel, who's still working on the initial pass. Now they're through. And let's see what Tantrum has to do now. A little bit of offense by their blockers. Skating
Looks like
on
they
the
got
inside.
at least 1 point, if I'm not mistaken.
Might have been 2.
Oh, might have been 2?
Yes.
It was 2. That's excellent. Good job by Birmingham on that jam.
Yeah, so we have 60 for Birmingham, 53 for Zurich. This is like still so close. Like, how can it stay so close?
I'm on the edge of my seat. At least I'm trying to put myself on the edge of my seat because it's much more fun to watch roller derby that way.
So it's Western Super Claire against 6-0 Mission Possible on the track. Everybody in the front. A little bit of confusion there. Western Super Claire fell.
We do have both 3 walls solidly together in turn 1. Mission Possible was knocked out and recycled, giving Super Claire, I'm so sorry. Weston Super Claire, their opportunity to get lead once again.
Offense there by the Zurich players get their jammer through. Now we have Western Super Claire on their jammer, on their scoring pass, calling the jam off right at the second that Mission Possible wants to start scoring those points. I really like the track awareness of the Birmingham jammers. It's really something that's often forgotten how important that is.
Yeah, it's especially interesting, like they're watching the box, they're making sure that they're clearing out the box. It looks like that they did call off just in time, but they weren't able to get any points, but they didn't lose any either, seeing as there's just a 7-point difference. Oh, no, they did get 2 points. Those were added late. Since it's such a close game, you just take 1 or 2 points and go.
A quick lead there for Laurie, but Missy Lestrange is close behind. Laurie is going to do some jammer-on-jammer action, but probably to kill the time in the box.
Missy Lestrange is having none of it.
Laurie showing the pack like, skate, 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 but it didn't get the speed that they wanted. Box is empty though, and so we end with a 0-0 jam. 62 for Birmingham, 53 for Zurich, which is like super, super close. Only a 9-point difference.
At halftime, I can't believe that we're already at halftime, but I can't believe that this game is so close.
It's so fun to watch.
I know that you thought I was a little nerdy for taking these stats, but now we can see clearly we've got 2 jammers, one from each team, who have been really getting most of the points and most of the leads. And for Birmingham, that would be Weston Super Claire with over half of the leads for her team whenever they got lead, which is great. And the same for Mission Possible on Zurich. And it looks like, though, in scoring for Zurich, Missy Lestrange is the one doing most of the scoring. So, yeah, because they've had several jams where they got several scoring passes.
In the previous game, Birmingham changed up their, I think it was Birmingham who changed up their jammer rotation. I'm really curious to see whether they are going to do that now to benefit Western Super Claire as much as possible. But we are going to have to wait at least 13 minutes to see that, and we hope we see you again too. So grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and we'll see you again in 13 minutes. So, and we are in Belgium now, so for people who come from a different country, welcome. We are in Amé in Belgium, so we are a little bit off from Namur, it's normal place. So the 3 previous editions were in Floref, but like all derby leagues, sometimes we have to move, whether we want to or not. And that's why we are now in Amé, a new place for us to conquer as roller derby, as the roller derby community rolls in today. So
it's a great venue with wonderful stands. You've got a cafe, bar. I mean, it's really nice.
It's everything you want, really.
So we've got Birmingham lining up because Derby is about to start. They're lining up in that classic four-wall, trying to take over that line, really owning it. I was thinking about this strategy during the break, and it's really kind of an old school sort of thing, you know, to have this this four-wall right on the line. It reminds me of the knee starts. Do you remember those?
I don't, because I haven't been playing roller derby long enough. So Lori on the outside line, and then Michi Impossible. I don't know what I did with the name there. Recycled to the back. Lori also recycled. We do have an offense now for Birmingham that was quite successful, giving lead to their jammer. And Birmingham sucking down on that jammer.
Yeah, they've really tough. Got them in. The offense tries to come in, but no go. That wall is too good at reforming, sticky.
I wish you could see what we are seeing. Many people are trying to crawl their way underneath the camera to make sure that the people at home still have a good vision.
It's just better to go straight across. Just go fast.
Yeah. So Lori is already on the scoring pass, while we have Michi Impossible still stuck in the initial. We have a destroying of the pack penalty for someone from Zürich. And then Lori is still battling that really strong three-wall there in the back for Zürich. They're really good at holding that jammer down. And then we have a blocker for Birmingham in the box as well.
Yeah, we've got that 3-on-3, but these packs have really slowed down, and it looks like Lori waited just enough time for their blocker to come out of the box before calling it off.
And we say it, and I will say it again, I love how Birmingham plays with that time management, with that seeing what's happening. They already had the 4 points, so they could have waited, and they did, and that was really good, because now it's 66-53 in favor of Birmingham. We are having Western Super Claire on the track opposing
Missy Lestrange, my favorite Zürich jammer.
Also some jammer-on-jammer action.
Playing a bit of defense and recycling that Birmingham jammer back, getting a bit of speed. Missy Lestrange coming back in, able to dance on that line, but not quite make it through.
Another jammer-on-jammer action, kicking out the jammer of the opposing team. And it's all Western Super Claire needed to get that lead going. Empty of the box. A penalty being called. Multiplayer penalty for the Birmingham blocker. And another.
That's quite a light pack on Birmingham's side. They've got another blocker going to the box.
Western Super Claire
back.
Being really aware of the foot they put out. They're now going to the inside. They couldn't wait for the box to be emptied because the jammer for Zürich was close, and it's a 3-0 jam. 69 for Birmingham, 53 for Zürich.
I wonder how much of that is actually also coming from their bench, because they have a couple pretty experienced bench coaches over there. One of them is Wu, who I know from Central City, and also Team England.
Oh.
Very, very skilled skater over there on their bench, coaching them. So I'm wondering if they're not also giving them a lot of information, making sure that Birmingham's skaters know everything they need to know. And we've got Mona Mortel for Zürich, who has made it through as lead jammer against Tantrum for Birmingham.
Yeah, the start there was pretty quick, which was good for Mona Mortel, not as much for Tantrum. But Tantrum is choosing to recycle the jammer of Zürich to make sure that the box is empty and that they can have a little bit of offense there on that very strong wall of Zürich, which we love to see. And Tantrum needs a little bit of space to pass on the inside line. No lead yet, but the lead jammer is stuck behind that amazing Birmingham wall.
Just so tough, so strong, so sticky. As I said before, they stay together. They definitely don't break apart easily.
It's amazing to see that they put in so much effort, and it's a 3-0 jam. So 3 points go to Zürich in this instance, bringing their total up to 56. And we're now having Mission Impossible on the track against Thundercat. One blocker in the box for Birmingham.
Missy again slips through on that inside line like she's made from toothpaste or something.
Thundercat struggling a little on the outside line, having to battle that 3-wall. That is amazing. Mission Impossible going for the outside. One more blocker. It's no match.
Mission Impossible looks a little tired though, so they're definitely having trouble getting through the wall.
We did see that caps lock.
Our lovely caps lock definitely fell backwards while following the jammer, but that's just because they're so focused on making sure that they're watching the jammer.
We have a power jam. The jammer took off the jammer hat and is now sitting in the box. Mission Impossible is being recycled back by Birmingham, really going for that final stretch.
Good pack awareness by Zürich, just staying up front, not playing the game, not going back until absolutely necessary, playing some good collective offense, but the recycling, the reformation by Birmingham is just too good.
Yeah, Birmingham is really good at that reformation right in the front. It's amazing to see how blockers can also be quick, which we often forget.
Yeah.
And then Thundercat is already back on track. So this was a power jam, people.
And a star pass from Thundercat to Long, number 404 from Birmingham, the pivot.
Forcing the Zürich jammer to call it off. We'll see how much points were scored. Will it be enough? Oh, caps lock, we did see that again.
We saw that again, that's 2.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tell this to your trainer.
Oh, damn, that's me.
So 3 points were scored in total, again, in that last scoring pass, which is not to 0, to 7 for Zürich, bringing the total up to 69 for Birmingham, 63 for Zürich.
Making it even tighter. Now we've got Missy Lestrange and Laurie back, and Laurie gets through on that inside line. And lead jammer for Birmingham. We'll see how Missy is able to deal with this, because usually they're able to get out pretty quickly, but it looks like that isn't the case on this jam. They're definitely stuck.
They had a blocker in the box, so no offense, and I think Missy is really good at playing with the offense.
Yeah, but Laurie has gotten a cut penalty and is going to the box, giving Missy Lestrange the opportunity for a power jam. We'll see how Zürich responds. There'll be any offense here.
Missy with the star in hand, skating past all of the blockers for Birmingham, one by one.
That means they've made it through their initial pass. Now they have to go out and score. We've got a train on the inside from Zürich, who decided really not to do anything at all. They were more of a distraction, which was great for Missy, who made it on the outside. Did you see that footwork?
It was amazing. 3-wall ready for the jammer, who was standing in the box. Missy Lestrange, strong against that amazing wall for Birmingham, still manages to make some space. Birmingham doing the recycling and doing offense at the same time, which is an amazing thing to do. Did cost them one blocker though, so one blocker to the box. Missy Lestrange stuck behind the wall, trying to call it off, but there's no lead.
There's no lead anymore because the lead jammer went to the box, and that's what happens. 2-minute jams,
I understand
people.
The lead was so quick while Missy was still stuck, so I get that you are a little bit confused.
I think it's mostly tired, actually, on Missy's part, because that is not easy getting through that pack. And then when you have a 2-minute jam, Lord knows they don't like to skate for 2 minutes, jammers.
So Laurie decided to do some defense. It didn't really work. And then Birmingham is cutting that off. Oof. This could be mean anything. Like,
oh my gosh, 10, what is that, 11 points for Missy Lestrange and
4 for Laurie. But we have a little bit of a
I think
conversation.
there's still going to be a few more points coming up for Birmingham because they definitely got a couple. Yeah, it looks like 7 points right there. I saw Caps Lock had their 3 points in the air.
So it's 76 for Birmingham, 74 for Zürich.
Oh my gosh, it just got more tight.
I get clammy hands from watching this game. People, it's been
I'm sweating.
So close. It's almost frustrating. Like, it's not like you can do anything else but watch and see what happens, but still it feels so amazing.
So we have a timeout, a team timeout that was called by Birmingham. Their coaches, as I said, are pretty experienced. They're good at time management, and so they've taken this as Zürich has gotten onto a momentum kick and has started to come back. So Birmingham has decided to cut that momentum, take a timeout, get their team back on track, and try and get Zürich to be a little bit frozen. You know, it's a good strategic move after a jam.
The timeouts in this tournament so far have been crucial for winning the game. So it's amazing to see how that really, like these few minutes of not playing derby can really improve your game so much.
Sometimes it just changes your mentality. You know, the coach just tells you, stop doing that, and all of a sudden you stop doing it like you needed to be told.
Western Super Claire against Mona Mortel on the Jammer line.
We've seen this combination quite a few times, of course. We've been seeing Mona Mortel against Tantrum and against Western Super Claire. Western Super Claire has been a high-performing jammer for this team.
I think the second jam was not as good as the first jam. I'm not quite sure, but they'll probably prove me wrong now by pushing all of the Zürich blockers out of play and just getting that. And their jammer for Zürich is still stuck between the jammer and the pivot line. So it's amazing to see already on the scoring pass, not taking the insure thing and going back to be recycled.
There's that super strong wall of Birmingham's with Bunny in the front. And Bunny is also an old Central City player. Very skilled, very experienced, very tall. But Mona does eventually get out, and let's see what Western Super Claire decides to do. Given that they do have a blocker in the box, they will call it to save their points.
First thing they do is check that box, which is, yeah, I cannot say how important that is for making sure they can start with 4. Because I have to say, the 3 walls for Birmingham are amazing, but when they are with 4, it's fireworks.
Oh my
it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's so hard to get through. Exactly. And, you know, that goes for both teams, but having that awareness, having that bench that's able to tell them what they need to do and really being patient about it. With such a close game, they know how important it is to have all of those blockers on the track. So even shortening the amount of time that their blocker is in the box is a good thing.
Tantrum really going in, wrecking ball, killing that wall for Zürich. The jammer for Zürich still being stuck. Good offense on the out.
But Mission Possible does make it through. You know, they are able to get through pretty easily once they finally get a bit of strength behind them. Tantrum is coming in, already got some points, and they'll call it.
The offense there at the start was really good by Zürich, completely clearing 2 lanes on the outside, making sure Mission Possible had all the space they wanted to get through. 2 points for Birmingham. You see how hard they work? 2 points.
2 points.
2 points to 0.
But so many of these jams recently for Birmingham in the second half have really been 1 point, 3 point, 2 point, 3 point jams. They're having to fight for every point.
Thundercat against Missy Lestrange there. Missy Lestrange having that beautiful lateral movement by the wall of Birmingham really sucks them back.
We've got a pack also up in the front, so we'll see how the bridge work works against Missy. It looks like Missy is able to actually work through it. Such a slippery eel.
And then we have Thundercat right in the front, battling that last blocker, getting lead. Right. Missy Lestrange close behind.
And they're definitely going to do everything that they can to make Thundercat call.
It cost them a blocker each.
It does.
Why are there Where is one blocker for?
There's a blocker for each team in the box, from what I can see, the pivots.
But I missed a blocker for Birmingham.
Yeah,
I think
in the box as well.
no, I think they went out for a nasty fault. We'll see what happens next when Laurie takes the track against 1-2-1 Mona Mortel. Yes.
And Laurie has been having quite a bit of success actually in this second half. They seem to have maybe gotten themselves warmed up. Definitely doing quite well. You can see the look of determination on their face, and there they go for a lead.
They know the inside line is like a super sad line and a good line to take, and that's what they go for each time. And then we have the blockers for Birmingham doing full offense for their jammer. Box is empty, ready to call it off. Mona Mortel was not quick enough to make them call off the jam. And it's 2 points.
Just 2 points. So they're pulling ahead slowly but surely, jam by jam. They're just pushing point by point to a greater lead.
Western Super Claire against Mission Impossible on the track. Everybody rolling back. 3 blockers on the track for Zürich. 4 on the track for Birmingham. Western waiting just a little bit longer to make sure that the jammer is stuck.
Yep, but their line work is amazing. Ooh, they were hit out. Pretty big hits by that blocker number 3-7.
Massive Tiger.
Massive Tiger.
Strength, I think. And then Weston Leclerc.
That's exactly what they showed, didn't they?
Stuck in the back again. And it's amazing to see how the Birmingham jammers also really use their wall, their defense wall, to push themselves through.
Yeah, that was number 3-7, Massive Tiger moves, actually, that put the moves on Weston Super Claire.
Weston Super Claire was aware that they were lead, so they were waiting and waiting to kill some time. It's a 0-0 jam. Like, did you see how much work that was?
Again.
To just make it 0-0. Amazing to see. Love this game. Tantrum on the track to Missy Lestrange. I think it's a duo we haven't seen yet.
No, we have seen them before. It's just that it hasn't happened in the second half.
Okay,
so
okay.
That's
what I meant, of course.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. You meant in the second half. We start over when the half.
Amazing defense work there by the Birmingham defense. 4-1.
And Tantrum gets lead, and it looks like, again, Tantrum just needed a bit of a warm-up. Some of those moves, definitely laterals, a bit of spinning, some nice toe stop work, getting themselves through without actually having to power through. It was great.
So offense there on the inside line. We have Missy Lestrange going to the box. So this is a power jam situation. Tantrum is a little bit stuck. I haven't seen the greatest power jams here. Like the defense walls are really good to react on the offense, and it's good to see how that works.
And Tantrum decided to call that, and just they got 2 points on that jam, but they decided to call it and freeze out the jammer. I'm going to guess because Tantrum is more of like a powerful, 1 or 2 pass skater, and maybe they think it would be a better idea to just freeze the jammer in the box and let their the next jammer take advantage of maybe several passes.
Zürich also starts with 1 blocker in the box, so this might be a good way for Thundercat to have a quick lead. 1 more blocker, but it's a lead for Birmingham. Thundercat going around for the scoring pass. Jammer is standing in the box.
Yeah, and it looks like that Zürich wall is ready for them. There was no power jam offense, even though I think it might have been possible. They did have some time, but now that the opposing jammer is back on the track, they're, of course, both full defenses. They were both down a blocker. That being said, both of those blockers have come back to the track, so we're back to 4-on-4 full packs.
Yes.
Thundercat calls it, and before Missy Lestrange can make it back through.
I have to say the reformation of Birmingham also has my jaw on the floor. It's really good to see how they do it, and I love the defense for Zürich. Their defense, once they are together and the jammer is stuck, they really don't give a centimeter away.
What I love is that these two teams also just stay close together. They're not worried about being mixed up one wall with the other. There's no space. So that's very frustrating for a jammer, but really good if you're blocking.
Yeah. And if you're confident enough to do it, because you have to have that little bit of confidence. It is a lead for Mona Mortel. Lori did a star pass to Violet Payne, and then we'll have a quick offense there and a call off.
It's been a while, actually, since Zürich has had a lead, and so that may help to shift the momentum a bit. Right now, we're looking at it 3-2 jam, interestingly enough. So it looks like Mona Mortel got 3 points, but in that past jam, our pivot was actually able to get 2 more.
We're halfway through the second half, and we still haven't gotten the 100 mark. So we are looking at 91 for Birmingham, 77 for Zurich. I think this is the biggest point differential we had so far. So 9, it's I don't know how many points, but a lot of points. And so it's slowly going in the direction of Birmingham, but it's so slowly that like one jam could get Zurich the win at the end.
One power jam or just one super good defensive positioning for Zurich could make it so that, you know, the opposing jammer gets stuck in the wall. It also depends on strategically whether or not these coaches are going to make sure that they play the same jammers. We see Zurich playing a 3-jammer rotation right now between Missy Lestrange, Missy Possible, and Mona Mortel. Will they get tired? They've already played a game today.
Yeah, both teams actually played a game today, but only Western Superclair hasn't jammed yet today, I think. Or Mona Mortel also didn't jam in the first game, so it's a bit tight. But they both lost their first skate-around game, so they must be really hungry for that win.
For the win, yeah, exactly. So they're really pushing for it. And we can see Birmingham actually took another timeout. They have no more timeouts. They have one more official review. So we're down to 11:54 left in the game. I'm not really sure why Birmingham did that. I might have saved that timeout for a bit later, but they obviously know what they're doing.
Ask them later.
Yeah.
So Super Western Clare on the track against 6-0 for Zurich. And it's a messy pack.
Yeah,
both jammers. Western Super Clare getting kicked out there on the outs.
But you'll notice they do have an offense with them in the back.
Yes.
We've got a Birmingham player going to the box for doing a bad thing to the jammer, apparently, while a Zurich player has also gone to the box. Western Super Clare, in that time, was able to secure lead once again. I don't think that Western Super Clare has lost lead since they've taken the track in the second half.
Second blocker for Birmingham to the track. One blocker for Zurich in the bench. It's they're not playing penalty heavy per se, but the penalties do make up the difference, I think. So now they're going to maybe let it roll.
Looks like they're going to run this one, yeah.
Yes.
Because Mitch Possible looks like they're getting a bit of abuse there from just those 2 Birmingham blockers. Just shows you how incredibly strong they are, even at 2. They can be very, very frustrating for the jammer, but it looks like Michi does get through on that scoring pass.
They really want to have that 4-wall back to, after this game, I think. So it's an empty box, and Western Super Clare calls it off. I'm really struggling with their name, by the way. I'm really sorry, Western Super Clare.
Is it okay for us to call them WSC or Claire?
if you rewatch this game, this is my personal apology to you.
But that was a great strategy, actually, because there was that was 9 more points for Western Super Clare and 4 points only for Zurich. So that is a win.
And it took Birmingham on exactly on the 100 mark.
We have hit the century mark.
Yes, and it's only 10 more minutes to go. So
that's a crazy for. Those who don't know, for roller derby, that is a very low-scoring game. So this is what we would call a highly defensive game. Every point has to be clawed and scratched for.
It's really like that, and I love how Birmingham plays. I will say it again, for the full start. So again, now you can see them. They're standing on the jammer line. an amazing wall, ready to fight for it. But Zürich is really not giving this away. They are really struggling, and I don't want to say struggling because that's wrong. It's a different word I have in my brain. They're fighting for it. They're really pushing their limits. It seems like a fun game to play, I have to say, because it can go either way. This is still a point differential of 19 points. It's one jam.
And you know, you were talking about penalties before. I did during the halftime go and check on the penalties for both teams. Not very penalty heavy. We'll see how this ends up now in the second half. But in the first half, what Birmingham were doing, we're just sharing all the penalties amongst everyone. Everyone had one.
It's like, this is now it's your turn to take one.
Now you get a forearm. And Zürich, not very many penalties at all, 1 or 2 for some of their players. So Missy Lestrange actually had 2 on the first half, which was the highest.
Yes. So Tantrum with the lead. Missy Lestrange waiting for the offense to get going. Zürich making the wall for defense because Tantrum is getting back on the track for the scoring pass.
But it looks like Missy Lestrange is going to the box, so this is another power jam for Tantrum.
I have the idea that Tantrum has been playing in a higher rotation than before.
It does look like that. I mean, it looks like we've seen Weston Superclair, Thundercats, and Tantrum for the most part.
So again, going for that speed and then picking out one player to hold the pack in the back. And then Tantrum does a little zigzag, passing the wall, and then calling it off when they see one of my players is out of the box. We can start with 4. Let's call it off.
So I did notice that the coach was the one who actually signaled that, so that was good. It means that they do have the smart, brilliant bench staff that I thought that they did.
That we were hoping for.
I had faith, you know. I had faith in them.
So we have Thundercat with a power start.
Yeah.
Jammer on the bench is already standing.
I am surprised that they decide to freeze someone as powerful and endurant and as athletic as Missy Lestrange, because I think that they, you know, are still a really great jammer with a lot of great power. I don't know if I'd want them on the track again.
I get it. But Birmingham is also really strong against it, and they do it really well. I think what Missy does is waiting again, like the waiting for the recycling. It doesn't really work that well.
Then taking advantage of it, though,
Yes.
and in this point, Missy Lestrange is now the lead.
Yeah.
So that worked out well, especially because Zürich was able to set up their defense and only their defense. And maybe at those starts, they need to focus on that and not so much the offense. Missy Lestrange getting through for another scoring pass.
It was beautifully done there. We have a full pack. Everybody's on the track. Nobody has a penalty. And Missy Lestrange is really using the momentum they got today to make the most of it. And they're going for it. This started as a power start in favor of Birmingham. And the Birmingham jammer is still on the initial. Missy Lestrange
is punishing them for that choice.
Pass.
And I told you, it's not necessarily, if there's a good jammer, you don't necessarily want to freeze them in the box, because then you have to play another jam against that very strong jammer. So we have Birmingham deciding to get that star out and to stop the bleeding. They have done a star pass. Missy is looking to their bench to see whether it's time to call, and they have indeed done so.
It's been the highest scoring pass in a while in this game, so 8-0 in favor of Zürich, bringing their total up to 89 and 108 for Birmingham. We still have 7 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
It could be anyone's game.
It's still 19 points. It's still a 19-point gap. Yeah, I did notice that Missy Lestrange actually, when they do get a lead,
and we have one player taking themselves off for...
Because there were too many on the track, I believe.
No, it was contact before the whistle.
They made contact and took themselves off the track. Well, that's very polite. It's very nice to know that in this sport we're such good sportsmen that even when we make a mistake, we know it was the wrong thing to do. We go straight to the box, no questions asked.
And Laurie taking advantage of that pack of only 3 for Zürich, getting one scoring pass in. We have Mona Mortel close behind But now they have 2 blockers in the box. Laurie said, let's call it off. It's good for us.
It's a good start for Birmingham to just have 2 Zurich players. But as I said before, you know, the Zurich team, whenever they get points on the board, it's big chunks, 7, 8, 11. And again, the Birmingham team is very content at putting 1, 2, 3, or 4 points on the board each time, freezing blockers in the box, making sure that they have a competitive advantage. Really strategic team.
So Western Super Claire, I'm sorry, really taking that lead quite quickly for the 2 blockers, but Mission Impossible close behind. A little bit of a fall there. Blockers to the track. A little bit of
looks like
pain.
Weston Super Claire may have received some sort of contact to their face that hurt. I'm not sure that it was illegal, but that doesn't mean that they didn't feel it.
Yeah. Birmingham, 2 blockers down, 3 blockers down, having to report to the box. These moments can really change the game. Mission Impossible
is definitely taking advantage of it.
Exactly. And Weston Super Claire still with the lead, but having to watch the box. 2 blockers, 1 blocker having to hold the pack, do defense and offense all at the same time. Not easy.
That's not easy at all. That's too many things, I think.
Yes.
That's too many things to do.
Weston Super Claire deciding this is not the jam for me.
They're going to call it. I wonder if Weston Super Claire forgot that they were lead and they could call it, because they did bleed a lot of points. 16 for Zurich. As I said, they get those big chunks of points and then make the game just a little bit more interesting.
So the point differential now is 13 points.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So 118 for Birmingham, 105 for Zurich.
And we've got a timeout taken by Birmingham, but since they're on, this is their last timeout, it must be an official review taken as a timeout.
And then we have Missy Lestrange going to jam, Tantrum going to jam, a 2-wall for Birmingham, a 4-wall for Zurich.
What's interesting with this matchup, too, is that, you know, with Missy Lestrange and Tantrum, Tantrum has been getting a lot more of the leads on this, because that Birmingham defense has been a struggle for Missy Lestrange. Official review is a timeout. Sure, yeah, we got that. Thank you, Caps Lock. Wonderful to have our teammate come over and give us information in sign language, Derby sign language.
Which we understood.
Which we understood perfectly.
Yeah. But then also, you are a sign language expert, so you can really do it. I would be like, what?
It's not the same. I have to say, it's not the same.
No.
I have said that before. There are some signs that we use in Derby that mean different things in actual real sign language.
Sounds dirty.
It is. It is. It truly is. So.
All right, then we'll not discuss that any further.
We're not on camera, so we can't, so it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's see how this is going to go. I'm really curious.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Missy Lestrange was having problems with the defense whenever Tantrum was their opposing jammer, but right now we have so many Birmingham blockers in the box. I'm wondering if Missy is going to be able to take advantage of that and actually get one of those long jams. So Missy Lestrange, here we go.
And then we have a power jam.
And we have a power jam. Would you look at that? This is gonna make me have a heart attack.
1 blocker on in the track. Now we have 2 blockers on the track for Birmingham against Missy Lestrange, who is, I think, the highest performing jammer for Zurich at this point. So it's still
Mission Impossible, but it's about to be Missy Lestrange.
Yeah, so 8 points already. We still have the jammer for Birmingham in the box. Will this be a tiebreaker? 5
Oh
points.
my gosh.
5
it's
points.
It's currently 8-0. The Tantrum, the Birmingham jammer, is coming out of the box. We have a 5-point differential at this point in the game.
1
Tantrum
point.
is very much trying to give away that that star, does not want it in their hand. The star pass is complete. Birmingham's pivot does have the star in their hand. Missy Lestrange is coming through, gathering points. If they got 1 more point on that last jam, that last scoring pass, we're looking at a tie game.
Oh my God!
Is it a tie game?
It is a tie game. So 118 for Birmingham, 118 for Zurich. I'm sorry for shouting for people who are listening with in-ears.
Look,
this is so exciting.
But if you're Derby fans, we're Derby fans. That's why we're doing this. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. This is amazing.
13 points on that last jam, which is amazing. Thundercat against Mona Mortel on the track. Okay, let's take a breather.
Yes, but it's so important. This jam is so important.
Yes,
and
it is.
You can feel it. It's palpable. You've got both defenses just as close as they can be to each other, making sure that they don't let any gaps through, making sure they don't make any mistakes, just trying to dig into the ground as hard as they can. It's
Look
a beautiful
at those
thing to
jammers
see.
work. And then we
Zurich
have Thundercat being recycled back. Mona Mortel still struggling in the middle there against that wall.
And Thundercat hasn't jammed in a while, so they may be a little bit fresher, but they're still taking this punishment of these really determined, strong Zurich blockers.
And Birmingham is bleeding 2 blockers to the box.
Oh,
Thundercat being recycled back. Mona Mortel against 2 blockers in the front. But look at that strong work.
And it looks like Mona Mortel has got lead. We may have a lead change coming. I don't want to jinx it, but it's possible.
Thundercat took off the panty, give it too long, and now we have a scoring pass for Zurich and the pivot just out of the initial pass.
Yeah, and they're going to run the jam. I can see the bench for Zurich saying, let's run this jam. But actually, no, they decide to go ahead and stop it to make sure that they don't bleed any points. Mona Mortel got 4 points on that pass.
It's a good call. It's a good call for Zurich because we have 2 blockers in the box for Birmingham.
It's a great idea.
And then we put Missy Lestrange against Laurie. 4 blockers on the track for Zurich. And we only need 4 points. We actually need 5 points for Birmingham to come back. And Zurich needs no points.
They need to make sure that they hold this, that they get the lead. And Laurie, and that's exactly what happened. Missy Lestrange has gotten through for lead. Laurie is still being held by the Zurich blockers, determined to make sure that they win this game. Missy Lestrange is coming back through. All they have to do is play clean until the end of the period, and then they can call it, and they'll win.
So we have Laurie
has made it through.
So the initial pass is over.
They've got to be look, Missy Lestrange watching the clock. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Calling it off.
Calling it off.
Oh my
And that's the end of the game. Oh my God. This was an amazing game. I have actual goosebumps.
My heart is going at 2,000 miles an hour. It is Birmingham, unofficial score. Birmingham 118, Zurich 125.
And Zurich coming back at the end of that second half. It wasn't until the last 5 minutes.
And I really thought Birmingham, I'm going to be biased here, but I thought Birmingham had it because they kept playing that calm, strong game, kept looking at the box, kept calling at the right moment.
They had the strategy that they needed.
The third jam from the final ones, it slipped through their fingers.
Yeah, and the thing is that you've got 2 good teams, 2 good defenses. They're very well matched. You do have Birmingham that's got a little bit more experience strategically on their bench. You can clearly see that. But what we saw is also at some points, those Zurich jammers, they just wanted it more. And so they went around for several passes, and we talked about that's the difference. You have these star jammers on Zurich's side getting huge jams.
Yes.
And just creating a momentum shift.
Yeah, Zurich is celebrating, and they should. This was an amazing game.
I'm so glad I got to commentate my first game with you.
Yeah.
Because this is the best.
Yeah, this is why we love Derby. It was amazing to see those 2 games, those 2 teams. They really did both very, very well. But amazing how Zurich took that final strands and really made it their own. Big congratulations to Zurich. And
big congratulations to Birmingham as well, because they fought for every single point. They gave us a great show.
It was amazing. So we're going out for 45 minutes. We need a breather. We need a breather, right? We need a breather. You need a breather. We all need a breather. I know,
Our in-house speakers are they also need a breather.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So 45-minute break. Go to the bathroom, get something to eat, do all the things you need to do. And then we'll be back for a game from Sam against Namur, which I'm also very excited about.
Super excited.
I've seen both teams play, and it will be like they both won their first match. So let's see how that turns out in the end.
It will be really interesting, and also for us because we know Namur really well.
Yes.
But I've only watched a little bit. They're N2 in the French Championship, so where I believe they may be N1 or even Elite.
I think they're Elite.
Elite, yes, that's right. This year it all changed, and it's just great to see those teams because I watched a lot of the French Derby, as you know. So it'll be great to see how they play against our
Namur team. I'm super excited for it, but I need to catch my breath. So
I should have drank coffee.
We'll see you again in 45 minutes, and we would love to announce another tight game like this one.
Yes, please.
See you again. Bye.
Bye, you guys.